So last Saturday, my friend Dave decided it was time for a fresh new look. He'd watched about 2.5 YouTube tutorials, declared himself a clipper connoisseur, and texted me, "Come over, I need moral support and maybe a spotter in case I accidentally shave off an eyebrow." I showed up expecting to play some light-hearted barber, but as soon as I walked in, I noticed his kitchen table was covered in an alarming amount of drop cloths, gardening gloves, and, for some reason, a hedge trimmer. "Just in case," Dave said, as if that was a normal thing for a haircut. Things went downhill faster than a mullet in a wind tunnel. Dave started with the classic just a trim, but 5 minutes later he was free-handing some avant-garde zigzags into his sideburns. At one point, he handed me the clippers and said, "Just do the back, you can't mess it up." Which is precisely the phrase that guarantees you will, in fact, mess it up. By the time I was done, Dave's head looked less like a haircut and more like a topographical map of the Andes. We tried to even it out, but every fix just made it worse, like trying to smooth out a rug by kicking the lumps to the other side. Clearly out of our depth, we realized we needed professional help. Dave scrolled through his contacts and, in his panic, dialed the first number under P, which turned out to be his parents' landscaper, Miguel. 10 minutes later, Miguel arrived with a leaf blower, an array of pruning shears, and a look of utter confusion. But to his credit, he shook his head, muttered something about never working with this much crabgrass, and got to work. By the end, Dave's head was so neatly edged and trimmed that I half expected to see a little "keep off the grass" sign planted on his scalp. So, if you're ever tempted to give yourself a DIY haircut, just remember, sometimes you need a barber, and sometimes you need a landscaper, especially when your hair's gone full Law and Order.